Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to this week's Astro Oracle reading. Oh boy, we're inviting you to a special party. It's the solstice celebration, June 22nd. Are you coming over here, Mark? No, you're just making order here. Virgo moon. June 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're having a party online. There is a link somewhere here. Join us. We have the best time. I have a special guest, Jennifer Rassiopi, who is the best-selling author of Cosmic Health and one of the best astrologers on the planet. Anyway, she's going to help us understand all the process that we've been through with the eclipses and the Mercury retrograde and the solstice and what it all means to us and how we can really weave all this fantastic magic into our lives, you know, for the rest of the year. So that will be Jennifer Rassiopi, and that's going to be our celebration for our solstice. Solstice celebration, June 22nd. I hope to see you there. So a little bit about this reading. If your sun sign is Aries, for example, you'll be the first one. So you'll want to read your sun sign first, then you want your ascendant next. Those 3 cards are second, and then you read your moon. So in a row, those 9 cards will give you a story that you're going to experience this week. This is much more intimate than yesterday's reading, which was really kind of like for everybody, and for anybody who watches video, that is, and who are aware of energies. I usually find these readings are much and mostly accurate, very accurate for people who are real empaths that can sense energy. And these particular readings here, we get a lot of feedback from astrologers too, because you know, it's a really interesting interplay between the oracle cards or divination and astrology, because astrology is a fixed system where all the stars are exactly where they're going to be. It's math. And then this is a fluid system. So we're actually seeing those energies reflected in these cards. So pay attention. Okay, Aries, here we go. Mark, are you paying attention?
I am paying attention.
You are encouraged this week, Mark.
What?
Yay. Mm-hmm. Not so aware. Aw, the universe is giving you a hug, honey. Okay, so Aries, this is actually a really great week because it's asking you to pay attention to what you need to let go of. Very, very clearly here. You can't push past the need to pivot. And last week also you were told that you had to pivot with something. So this is a really good thing. You need to be nimble and on your feet. And you need to trust that your intuition is going to lead you to the right choices. You might feel that you lack information, and that's good. That if you feel that you lack information, you likely do. So this card also reminds us to go get more info about whatever it is that you have to pivot this week. Rock bottom in the protection position kind of reminds you that you just can't keep pushing upriver. You have to turn around, go with the flow, and realize that not everything is for you. That's just the way it is, and some of your choices may not have been, may not be what you need it to be in order to move forward. Okay, you're probably gonna hear some noises behind me because there are people working on my property. So there could be a lawnmower, I don't know, but we're all at home here. Now let's look at Taurus. Yes, Mark? Taurus is next. So Taurus Metamorphosis. This is a great card for Taurus. We've been through a lot of different processes over the past few weeks of self-reflection, etc. And you've had some really good cards around making decisions and changing your mind about some things. Now we're seeing you in the process of changing and realizing that you might not have learned a certain lesson in the past. Now this also relates to your issues around money and security, because the Golden Palace, when it's in its upright form, following these cards, tell us that, ooh, maybe I need to look at my taxes. Maybe I need to look at my finances, my investments. What do I need to do in order to feel safe and grounded? And again, when this card is in a protection position, it does say you don't have enough information. So when the talisman card is there, say you didn't learn exactly this, but you may not have been able to. So it's not about blaming yourself like, oh, I didn't learn that. It's more about, ooh, I need to learn that, right? So anything to do with finances, money, job opportunities, exchange of energy, etc., rather than materialism, is on tap for you this week, Taurus. And really the change is going to do you good. The change will do you good. That's for sure here. So if you know you want to quit a job, for example, if you know you want to move on, this is the perfect time to do it. Okay, and something better will come, or start a business or whatever this is. We're almost out of Mercury retrograde. So I know it's funny. Like I don't have a superstition around it, but I always find the retrograde phases are the best times to actually go over things rather than start things. But who knows? It's up to you. That's what your reading said. It's amazing how many people ask us how to shuffle. If there's a special magical way, and actually there isn't a special magical way. Okay, so we're looking at Gemini. Gemini, you are the educator, right? You are the person, you also the perennial student. So this is very much all about learning this week for you, Gemini, and learning how to get resilient in a dry desert and healing the ouch. So understanding the nature of a dry spell is really what you should be looking at here. Like, what did I gain from that? What did I learn from that? And who do I need to forgive? And can I give myself permission to forgive myself for trying to push it too far when it wasn't available, whatever that means. So for Gemini, it really is understanding resilience, not just knowing you have resilience, and adaptability is understanding why you need that. And so this is a week for you to contemplate that. That would be for Gemini. Very interesting. Cancer, remember your higher power. Your primary relationship is your higher power. It's not with other people, places, and things. It's first and foremost, your connection to your higher power has to come first, surrendering to your higher power. If you're struggling with anything, you remember there's a spiritual solution to every problem. You might have forgotten that this week, but so as we enter it, that's our reminder. Now we're looking at home. That's great. You are most at home. And Cancer is the home body of the zodiac as well too, and it is all about, family, etc. So you want to know that there's peace there and there's beautiful. So there's a nice reconnection in some way. There's a sense of calm again, and I feel good being at home, and I've recalibrated my relationship to my higher power. So the home card coming here, you've landed in your skin, you feel good about your life, you feel like you're on purpose. Sometimes you don't know the form of that purpose, and that's okay. But we know that you're giving yourself permission to have joy this week and to trust that when you are in alignment with your higher power, joy comes a lot easier, right? So you're not anticipating what could go wrong. That's for Cancers. So Mark, you have to remind me my higher power.
Oh boy.
Ha. And it's also asked all of the Cancerians for that reading is, what is your higher power? So sometimes we can make a relationship our higher power, or we can make shopping our higher power, or like our job our higher power. But truth is none of those things are our higher power. Our higher power is our higher power. So that connection to God, to Source, to Spirit, to Jesus, to Great Spirit, and this, I don't know, whatever it is and how you language that, that's primary this week. All right, Leo, here we go. And that's if you have Leo Sun, Leo Rising, or Leo Moon. Education for Leo too. You and Gemini are going to school together. Wishing well and storm fields in the protection position. So for Leo, you might learn something that might cause you a little bit of stir. You might say to yourself, oh my God, I'm unraveling because this thing I thought I wanted is showing itself to me in a way that, oh my God, I don't think this is for me. So don't be surprised this week, Leo, if you've wanted something so badly and it's happened, and then you're seeing like, I got my wish, and this is happening, and I'm learning about the wish I said I wanted, but then you're going like, maybe I don't want this because I don't know that I'm willing to do all it takes to make this thing get off the ground. So this is also maybe the relationship that you said you wanted, you thought you wanted so badly, and then you realize that the person is not faithful, or they don't believe in the same things as you, or they're on the opposite end of the political spectrum, and you weren't ready for that, right? So whatever that is, this is about looking at getting your wish, what it means to you, and then taking a look at what about it doesn't work for you too. And that's about maturity and about getting really honest with yourself about being at home in your skin, right? Okay, now we're looking at Virgo. Here comes my husband's field of dreams. Okay, Mark, what are you doing? Trusting your intuition. What else are you doing? You can't do it all by yourself, okay? So there you go. Virgo, that means if you're a Virgo sun sign, if you're ascendant is Virgo or your moon is in Virgo, you are rocking it this week. This is really honestly about the sacred quality of your dreams and how in alignment you feel with that and how on point you feel with that. And then you realize like, wait a sec, I can't do this all by myself. So it's asking for help when you don't like asking for help because you don't think anybody else is going to do it as good as you or as organized as you or as perfect as you, etc. And you have such high standards that you don't think anybody's going to meet those standards. And I'm going to tell you, you, Virgos, there are people out there who can meet your standards. Just make sure you get the help that you need this week. Otherwise, your dreams will just sit there and your intuition will go nothing because you won't have done anything about this stuff. So this is a beautiful time to plant in your field of dreams, the things that you really intend to see happen in your life. When I say that, it's more about your contribution, right? Here's what I can contribute, and then you wait and see, well, how is this going to impact other people, because you don't have any control over that. But you can certainly predispose yourself to doing things the highest good of all. That's why Oracle cards are so powerful and so profound to work with. Anyway, this is awesome. Now we are looking at Libra. That is my rising sign. Let's see. Education for you too. There's going to be a lot of learning. Lot of learning. Where are you going, Mark? Oh, a lot of learning using your intuition and talisman and protection. So you might need to learn things more than once this week, and that's okay. So don't pretend you know something when you might not know it yet. And I think that's really key here, is to realize that not everything is absorbable all in one shot. So you really need to give yourself time to absorb whatever it is that you put your mind to learning this week, and also to trust that your intuition is going to be your best friend, because it will steer you away from the lessons that you haven't learned yet, okay? This is not the week you're going to go headlong into trouble. This is a week where your intuition is going to steer you away from trouble, which is great. All right. Next is Scorpio. Scorpio, here you go. Deep freeze and protection. Spring is here for you. Whatever restriction that you felt in the past little while, gone. This is good. Coming to life again, and yes, your intentions are really clear to you and you feel at home with them. That's really beautiful. So you feel good. This is a real sense of coming to after dreaming for a while, after kind of tootling around with some ideas about different things, and this is lovely. So you have a great week, Scorpio, ahead of you, and that's if you have Scorpio moon or Scorpio rising also. And for those of you who don't know how to do this or don't know what those things are, you go to astro.com and you put your birth data in there, and they will give you your chart, and it'll say your sun, your ascendant, and your moon and what those mean. Okay, here we go. Next, Sagittarius. Also a deep freeze. Look at that. That's very interesting. Magical map shifter and moonlight and protection. So somebody's going to come into your life that's going to help you come out of your thaw. And that's for Sagittarius. And it could be any area of your life, but you may not trust your intuition because they look very shiny and fabulous. So you're going to go against your intuition. Be very careful about that, because this is saying you might like them so much that you will just dive right in without asking yourself, is this the right choice? That said, you can never go wrong when the magical map shifter shows up, because they're always going to teach you something, and it will always be something that would be positive on the other end of it. So I don't see any painful things in here, but I would really be careful before you leap. Sometimes the things that you lust after and you feel really, they are not necessarily the best things for you, although they will teach you and they will change you in some way. But maybe it's a lesson you don't want to learn, but we'll see what happens, right? We're going to see what happens. Now we have Capricorn. Capricorn, you are still in a period of resilience, and you're also in a period where you have to be careful when something looks too good to be true. It will be too good to be true, so mind your awareness. This is good. So no matter what, you're going to be fine. So this is more about, moving away from that dry period, that dry spell, and knowing that your awareness is very keen. You understand your environment. You know you can't do anything to change this. You cannot force a mirage to be an oasis, because it's not. But it does say here that you're going to feel very protected, so that you're going to get the right nudges to protect you from making any mistakes. And that's for that. And we have one more to go. We have Pisces. Oh my gosh, I missed Aquarius, and here I am, different clothes, dog, everything. Let's get going. Aquarius, let's talk about you this week and what you can expect to experience. This is about making a choice. So that is a card coming out of the deep freeze for you, and rock bottom. This is interesting. So whatever you've been working on, right we're in the middle of Mercury retrograde. You should be using this time, especially since it's also in an air sign in Gemini, to really take a look about how you think about things and how you communicate those things. So likely you've been realizing that, you know, you've had to make some major changes. And as a result of that, it's really positive. So you've made that choice and you're looking at, oh, I get it. I was stuck here because I was thinking this way. Now I have to shift my thinking so that I can get out of the hole I dug myself in. So this is a really beautiful week for you, Aquarius, to reconsider the way you think about things and replace them with new ideas, right? So it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to change your mind. So this is the other thing, giving yourself permission to change your mind this week. That's the Aquarian moment this week. Okay, back to the other video. Okay, Pisces, here we go. Making a choice in the protection position means that you might be frozen to make a choice, but you have to actually make that choice. The mirage into the unknown. I get it. You know, Pisces, you might have a little bit of a moment this week where you kind of feel like unable to make a choice because it doesn't appear that the choice in front of you is the right one for you. And so it's not the time to take a risk is what this is saying. So into the unknown is in the protection position. So this is not the appropriate time. There's times where you can, there's other times you can't, and this is one of those times. So the choice would be to remain where you are this week temporarily, Pisces. I would not venture off into any mystical landscape thinking that this is all going to be hunky-dory. This is way more about you remaining where you are, understanding the environment you're already in. Before you take any big leaps into the unknown, trust that you still need some time to process what resilience means and adaptability means for you as you move through a lot of changes in your actual world, your job, your career, your relationships, where you live, etc. It just feels like it's across the board where you're going to go, you know what, this is a week I'm not going to make any decisions. So typically when I see this in protection, it's because you feel frozen and you need to make one. But actually when I look at this, I go, you know what, this is a good week to make no decisions whatsoever. Stay where you are for now, and it's going to change next week. All right, that's it. And don't forget, we have our solstice celebration. Big party, June 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Online, link is somewhere here. Please join us. I have a fantastic guest, the best-selling author of Cosmic Health and one of the best astrologers on the planet, Jennifer Asiopi, is going to be joining us and helping us celebrate the end of Mercury retrograde, the energy of the solstice that we're weaving into our lives over the next 6 months, and really what all this means to us, what the eclipses meant, the whole 9 yards. We are going to get it from Jennifer. I'm so excited to invite her to be with us, and I know that thousands of you are going to be coming. So I'm so excited to invite you back into my world in a more intimate way. We are going to be doing the most beautiful ritual and meditation. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. So hope to see you there. The link is somewhere. Take care. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button. You'll see a bell. Click on the bell and you're going to get a notification when these videos are out. And don't forget to leave me a comment. I'm so excited to read your comments. You guys give me the best comments. We love YouTube. Anyhow, come to the party. The link is somewhere here. I'm dying to see you there. Okay, take care. Mwah.